He's the highest ranking British manager in the Premier League.
A Moyes master plan, immaculately executed by his players. What a big 3 points for David Moyes. Moyes boys are bubbling. Look at these scenes of celebration. They are right at the peak of their powers.
They're in 6th place, West Ham United, above Manchester United, above Brighton, above Chelsea.
The resilience and the resolve, they're for all to see.
The job of any manager is to get the maximum out of the tools at their disposal, and nobody can argue that David Moyes hasn't done that.
In an era of football that prioritizes possession and intense pressing, David Moyes' West Ham prioritizes neither, and has actually recorded their most impressive results of the season, amassing a meager 22, 25, and 34% possession against their opposition. So how on earth are they doing it? How are West Ham United winning without the ball? Welcome back, guys. You're watching the Sideline Starters, and my name is Andy, first team all sideline. Let's get started. I'm gonna sound like a broken record today, but David Moyes hates possession. Instead, the Scottish manager prefers a foundation built on 3 S's, with the first being shape, the second being space, and the last one being speed. Let's start with shape. In attack, David Moyes sets his team up in a 4-2-3-1 shape, with former Real Madrid goalkeeper Alphonse Areola at its base, Moroccan star Naïef Aguerd and club captain Kurt Zouma in front of him, experienced fullbacks Emerson and Vladimir Koufal out wide, Declan Rice's replacement Edson Alvarez protecting them, the box-crashing Thomas Soucek in midfield, the best set-piece taker in the world James Ward-Prowse higher up the pitch, press-resistant artist Lucas Paquetá and Mohamed Kudus in attack, and the league's most underrated forward Jared Bowen as a makeshift 9. In this shape, West Ham looked to exploit the space left behind opposition back lines by means of a fast counter-attack, using the speed of Kudus and the technique of Paquetá to quickly dribble into half spaces, before releasing the ball into the path of their overlapping fullbacks, the head of Thomas Soucek as he arrives late into the box, or the feet of their center forward. But the emphasis on shape, space, and speed are even more persistent when West Ham are off the ball, with Moyes opting for a 4-1-4-1 in defensive transition, with this shape maximizing the solidity of a medium to low block that has no interest in possession whatsoever, with Edson Alvarez patrolling the space in between those blocks, the forward line shadowing spaces opposition can pass through, and the back line crowding space inside the box, a game plan contingent on the speed of players' instincts as they attempt to sense and react to danger. West Ham's willingness to completely surrender the ball has produced some pretty concerning stats at face value, as they average the 5th lowest possession percentage in the Premier League, allow the 2nd most crosses and the 2nd most shots, stats you'd expect from a team on the brink of relegation, not in 6th place on the brink of qualifying for Europe. But there's a difference between quality and quantity, and David Moyes' side are a testament to that. Despite taking the 5th fewest shots in the Premier League, West Ham have the best goals per shot metric in the country, scoring on over 14% of their attempts. Rest that attacking efficiency on the shoulders of a defense that commits the 2nd fewest errors leading to goals, and you're looking at one of the best coached teams in the entire country. So let's analyze the players that are making this possible. You can't defend your box for almost 90 minutes without some mountain men in your lineup, so the fact that goalkeeper Alphonse Areola stands at a whopping 6'5" is a hell of a start. The Frenchman has been nothing short of excellent for the Hammers this season, and has single-handedly won his team points on occasion, and actually boasts the 2nd highest total save percentage in the Premier League, only behind Liverpool's Alisson. Now West Ham's fullbacks Emerson Palmieri and Vladimir Coufal might not be as vertically blessed as their keeper is, but the Italian nationalized left-back makes up for it with impressive percentiles in key defensive metrics, while the Czech international compensates offensively, racking up 5 assists halfway through the campaign. But the real Iron Giants of the season have been Naïef Aguerd and Kurt Zouma, with both center backs appearing in 79% of West Ham's possible minutes, with Zuma's 6'3" aerial dominance and seasoned defensive awareness resulting in him leading the entire squad in clearances, with his Moroccan teammate right behind him, as the 2022 World Cup semi-finalist offers the speed and tackling ability to dispossess attackers in 1v1 situations. And while the center-back duo have held it down all season, transfer rumors surrounding Aguerd this January, along with Zuma's occasional injury trouble, have allowed new signing Konstantinos Mavropanos to establish a place in the starting 11, and is now easily West Ham's most comfortable center-back in possession, and offers the impressive ball control and carrying ability more suited to the modern game, in addition to an eye for goal that was recently on display against former employers Arsenal. He's off to an amazing start at his new club. And speaking of new signings, While Mavropanos was eased into the squad and given time to settle in, the same can't be said for Moyes' midfield signings. Despite the incredible financial benefits of selling Declan Rice to Arsenal this summer, it left Moyes with the daunting task of replacing one of the best defensive midfielders in the world, an objective he's arguably already accomplished thanks to the signing of Edson Alvarez, Ajax's former defensive midfielder who made a name for himself as the Eredivisie's most aggressive ball winner. Edson has immediately slotted perfectly into Moyes' starting 11, as he protects the pockets of space in front of his penalty box, a crucial defensive responsibility reflected in his bright red heat map, as well as his ridiculous percentiles for clearances, shots blocked, passes blocked, and tackles in the defensive third per 90. Moyes' second midfield signing, however, has a much more offensive profile, as James Ward-Prowse arrived from the relegated Southampton in the summer as well. And if you think that the Pirlo comparison is gas, let me just remind you that Lionel Messi is the only player to score more free kick goals than he has in the last decade. Ward-Prowse is the definition of a dead ball specialist and has allowed West Ham to maximize their scoring ability from set pieces, making him a crucial asset for a team whose chances on goal are already limited given their style of play. The Englishman's already racked up 3 goals and 6 assists this season so far, and adds to the attacking standards set by final midfield partner Thomas Souček. The 6'4" Goliath has been at the club since 2020 and has proven to be one of the most lethal goal threats inside the opposition's 6-yard box. Whether he's arriving at the end of a late run or simply leaping over anyone in his vicinity, he's been a consistent source of attacking output for the Hammers and has managed a solid 5 goals and 1 assist on the season so far. His size and strength also make him a perfect defensive partner for Alvarez in midfield when necessary, as the trio provide enough defensive cover to unleash West Ham's most gifted players in attack. Call me crazy, but I genuinely think that West Ham's attacking trio of Lucas Paquetá, Mohamed Kudus, and Jarrod Bowen might be one of the best front lines in the entire country. Let's start with the Brazilian. It should go without saying that Paquetá brings an audacious amount of technical ability to the table, with his flair always on full display whether he suits up for club or country. But where most Brazilian skillers falter in their decision-making, Lucas consistently excels and is easily West Ham's most dangerous progressive passer, and currently has 5 assists in the Premier League to show for it. The number 10 also ranks in the 98th percentile for through balls and passes into the final third, and 95th for progressive passes amongst attacking midfielders per 90. But those aren't even his most impressive stats, with Paquetá's laundry list of world-class defensive percentiles perhaps the most underrated part of his game. But it's worth noting that he doesn't have game-breaking speed, which is why he inverts more centrally from the left and leaves the pace racing for new signing Mohamed Kudus on the right. The Ghanaian speedster caught the eyes of scouts around the world with his performances for Ajax. He's since carried his form over to London and has managed to score in more than a third of his league games this season, in addition to really stepping his game up in the Europa League. His acceleration, close control, and core strength make him an absolute nightmare to dispossess in tight spaces, as he can be seen dragging defenders like chomp-chomps chasing a bone, and unsurprisingly leads the entire West Ham squad in attempted take-ons as well. But none of this goes according to plan without a lethal number 9 up top who can consistently win you games. And in the absence of Mikel Antonio this season due to injuries, Jarrod Bowen has stepped into the role as arguably West Ham's most important player. For starters, the Englishman has amassed 11 goals this season, which makes him the 5th highest goal scorer in the league, as he's just 1 goal behind Heung-min Son and Dominic Solanke, and 3 goals behind Erling Haaland and Mohamed Salah, a feat that becomes immediately more impressive when you remember that all 4 of those players take penalties for their teams while Bowen doesn't, a delegation that results in a 3-way tie for most non-penalty goals in the league amongst Bowen, Haaland, and Solanke. Whether it's his weaker right foot, insane curlers off his favorite left, or ridiculously brave headers given his 5'9" frame, Jarrod Bowen finds a way to get the ball into the back of the net, period, and will always be a legend in London after scoring the 90th minute winner against Fiorentina in the Conference League final that secured West Ham United's trophy last season. Unfortunately for Bowen, however, he just picked up an injury against Bristol City that'll probably see him miss close to a month of action, and actually joins Paquetá on the medical table, who will be out for at least 2 months, which is partly why I wanted to make this video right now. On the off chance that the wheels slowly start to fall off, I want everyone to remember what West Ham are capable of with a fully fit squad, in large part due to the fact that only a handful of teams have figured out how to burst the low block bubble. But what do you think about Moyes' ball and West Ham's success this season? Let me know in the comment section below, and drop a like if you enjoyed today's video. As always, I'm Andy, first team all sideline. Till next time, everyone.